Hello, welcome to Professor SNAB, where we aim to make A-level biology as simple as a cell. So today we will be looking into two topics, the first one being the steps involved in atherosclerosis, and the second one being the entire blood clotting process. So let's begin. So starting off with, what is atherosclerosis? So in the most simple terms, is just the hardening of the arteries. So the arteries harden when there is a buildup of plaque inside the arteries, and this buildup is what results in cardiovascular diseases. But bear in mind, atherosclerosis is not a cardiovascular disease. Atherosclerosis is what leads to cardiovascular disease. So that is an important classification to be aware of. So how does atherosclerosis develop? The endothelial lining of the artery is damaged. So this is your first step. This can take place due to age, high blood pressure, smoking habits, and so many more. This damage of the endothelial wall triggers an inflammatory response where white blood cells accumulate in the artery wall. Cholesterol begins to build up, and this results in an atheroma. So next, calcium salts and fibers build up and hardens the atheroma to form a plaque. This buildup narrows the lumen of the artery. Reduction of the lumen disrupts the flow of blood, leading to increased blood pressure once again. And if you look at the first point, high blood pressure is what leads to the endothelial lining being damaged. So, what you're going to notice is it is a cycle. And the entire cycle repeats once again. So this is an example of positive feedback mechanism. So it's when one event leads to a series of steps, and then that results in like the initial that increases the initial trigger that started that cycle, and the cycle just continues again and again, and until in this case your artery is completely blocked. But then there are other examples that you will come across during the course. So that is what that's how atherosclerosis develops. So is the hardening of the atheroma and the narrowing of the artery, and that's when you classify that yes, this person has atherosclerosis. Okay, so now the next process. So how does blood clotting actually take place? Blood clotting involves a series of steps. These steps are stimulated by the damage to the blood vessel. Blood platelets attach to the exposed collagen fibers in the blood vessel wall. Platelets release thromboplastin, which is a clotting factor. Thromboplastin converts prothrombin, which is inactive initially, into thrombin, which is its active form, in the presence of calcium ions and vitamin K. Don't forget the calcium ions and vitamin K, as this is something so many people often miss out on when they're answering exam questions. So quick note. Thrombin activates the conversion of soluble fibrinogen into insoluble fibrin. The fibrin forms a mesh which traps blood and debris to form a clot. So one way to really remember this might be, one thing that could help, especially if you have a visual mind, is to draw a flow chart. So you can actually when you're answering exam questions, you can imagine the flow chart in your mind and just write down all the steps involved. Okay. So next, that is all from Professor SNAB today. Hope this has been useful, and if you have any questions on this topic or anything on the course, please drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share this to someone who might find it useful. And thank you so much for watching, and good luck.